Now, sorry to bring you the news of the Neighbours episode in On This Day. A lot of people are hearing that for the first time. I thought, that's a terrible story. How sad. She was walking along Madge and was it Harry? He gets swept out to sea. And
Harold.
Harold gets stretched out to sea. He joins the Salvation Army in Tasmania.
What a yarn.
Then he comes back to Ramsay Street 5 years down the track and starts door knocking, with a tambourine. Boom, 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 with the gear. And then they recognise him and he gets his memory back. So it's sad if you only heard the first bit. So we're
20 years.
Yeah.
For 30 years on television,
yeah,
wasn't
now this one, that Neighbours episode up there was Skippy being able to communicate a completely different message by making pretty much the same sound every time.
Skippy was great.
The brilliance of Australian tea. What?
Skip.
In the river?
Skip. What, the helicopter's gone down?
You want to back race 3, number 5? Goulburn, Friday? It's a special. Gamble responsibly. Yeah, sure. Fantastic. That'd be the modern day.
That would.
Skippy could actually take Joel Kane's place on a Sportsbet promo. Skippy comes on. I think it'd do pretty. Joel, you're fired. You're fired. Skippy, Sean Omerod, fired.
That laugh. Bring him in. Let's get him on.
Do it.
On Breakfast with Vossy and Brandy, the back page with Michael Carayannis. When automation is key to your business's success, trust Conveyor Logistics for your warehouse automation solutions.
MC, good morning. There is, there's plenty happening, isn't there? PNG, Josh Schuster. We haven't spoken about Josh Schuster yet. Schuster signing with South Sydney, a 1-year deal.
Oh, no, but Michael, first, do you know Mark Robinson? Because you're one and the same. Is the Herald Sun's part of your family, isn't it? Have you crossed paths with Mark Robinson? He's saying that Rugby League will be second to AFL before he's dead. Which is
good morning, boys. No, I don't know Robbo. I know of him, but no, I've never. Our paths have never crossed, and as you may well know, I'm not much of an AFL type.
No. So you're saying it's not going to happen? Not your go? No, not going to happen? You don't think before you're dead, Michael? Do you want to say that AFL won't be in front of Rugby League?
A retort.
No chance. Not in my lifetime. Not in my kids' lifetime. It shan't be happening. Look, they've made inroads, no doubt, and there'll be a great crowd there on Friday night.
We coexist. Exactly. Coexist. And we love it. And we're all on the Swans bus now this week. But I think the gap between the Swans and the Giants proves that Mark Robinson's statement is an absolute pile of... know what it is, a pile of horse dung. That's what it is. It's rubbish, Mark. It's on the pipe. Michael, welcome back.
Yes, what's going on? Josh Schuster, boys. Yeah, as Brandy mentioned, 1-year deal at South Sydney, only worth around $200,000. So cut price deal for Schuster to join the Rabbitohs. Look, I think it's a great move for both parties. We know how talented Schuster is, right? We saw it in glimpses at the Seagulls, where he rose to be one of the most exciting young players in the game. Struggled with some off-field issues of late. Manly cut him adrift, and he's taken that time to, train hard and try and get his sort of life in order and refocus. And by all reports, he's done that. He looks really impressive and impressed Wayne in their meeting together, and now gets an opportunity to prove himself. It's basically the last chance, I'd say, for Schuster, because, not too many players, if it doesn't work out with Wayne, who's given him a second chance, get another chance elsewhere. But for the cost, the reward, I think it's a great move, and let's hope that he can get back to somewhere near his best.
And that will be, if he does, that's a great addition to that South Sydney side. And it did seem like there was only a couple of clubs that he could have gone to, really, in trying to resurrect his career, go to Melbourne, go to Penrith, go to Wayne, or go to Wayne, wherever Wayne is.
Yeah, I agree with that, Brandy. They're probably a handful of clubs that you would have recommended Schuster to go to. And as you said, it's going to, South Sydney's forward. I'm assuming he's going to play in the forwards, boys. I think the time in the halves is over for Schuster. They might play in that, potentially as a 13 or off the bench, and there's a bit of a utility or whatever the case may be. But if he can park himself on an edge, we know that South Sydney's forward pack lacked a little bit of creativity at times and go forward this season. So I think he could be a real X factor to that lineup next year.
Alrighty. Now, news out of Manly. We've actually, before we talk about Anthony Seibold, just a quick recap on Tom Trbojevic, just because we know he's playing with injury and the whole bone separated.
It's a grade 3. It might require surgery when he's done.
He won't be eligible for the Pacific Championship, and it'd have to be in calculations, quite obviously. But no, he's got surgery awaiting. But this is Tom speaking yesterday.
Obviously, it was a tough game on Sunday, and it was a bit sore at times, but pulled up really good. Just had a really good training session, so we'll be better this week.
Are you ready for the Roosters to try and target you and bash you?
Oh, look, I think any side tries to target a back five and do their job on them. So it's not about targeting me. They'll be trying to do a job on us collectively. So, look, we're prepared for that, and hopefully we can do our best to counter it.
How do you actually feel?
I feel really good. So, better this week, which is expected. So, hopefully it feels a bit better in the game.
Needles?
They're good, mate. They're good.
More, yeah?
Yeah, they work. They're good.
There we go. Now, Brandy, sorry, Michael, just parking you to the side for one moment. Now, if Manly did make the grand final, that's sudden death, week after week after week of that, painkillers, everything still works? Or does he go downhill? Do you think it can be managed through a whole period?
No, I think it'll improve. It'll improve over that period. I think he'll feel a lot better this weekend than he did last weekend. Very painful, but that will start to settle down over the weeks, even though he's by playing, it's re-injuring it again as he goes, but it will be better. So okay. he'll be better this weekend than last weekend.
All right, now Michael, on Anthony Seibold,
and he'll need to be.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He was very quiet. He was out of the game basically.
His knee worried him more. He was up slow every time he got tackled.
Yeah. He did look.
Wasn't the shoulder that stops you getting up quickly?
He looked ungainly on the weekend.
What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I'm with Vossy on that. I thought the knee was more of a concern than that shoulder. Because he just didn't look, anywhere near his explosive best, and that's got nothing to do with his shot. Obviously, be a bit tentative, but yeah, I thought Vossy nailed it there. I think his knee is probably a bit more cause for concern in terms of the restricting what they need from him, and that's for him to be at his explosive best.
All right. So Anthony Seibold, contract extension regardless of this weekend's result. Michael, is that your mail?
Yeah, that's the way it looks like it's heading. The Manly bosses have agreed to extend Anthony Seibold out, whether that's by another 12 or 24 months or form part of the negotiation, which takes place at the end of the season. But they've agreed that they've seen enough from Manly this year to give him at least another 12 months. He's got next year already contracted, so it'll be at least a year on top of that. I think that, week 2 of the finals is probably where Manly should be at the very least. I think if they bounced out in week 1, it probably would have been considered a failure this year with that roster that they've got. I think they should be looking towards a top 4 finish next season. So, obviously if not this year, but I think with the talent that they've got and the fact that, aside from Daly Cherry Evans given his age, the majority of that roster is locked in long term. So it's that nucleus that's going to be there. And they obviously think that Anthony Seibold can push them to deliver a premiership.
So Manly probably handled it well. There seemed to be an issue midway through the year, didn't it, Michael, with Anthony wanting to extend, and they said, well, let's just sit on it for a while. So I guess Manly handled it well. They wanted to see what they could do and where they could come this year, and now that they have made the finals, they've extended him for another season. That is good. Josh Addo-Carr, we've listened to a bit of Gus on the podcast. He sits down with the NRL today.
Yeah, so that's a crucial meeting with the NRL's integrity unit this afternoon, and as Phil Gould said on his podcast, Josh has to explain how the substances ended up in his system, because that's something that's hasn't really been disclosed as yet. Josh still maintains his innocence, so that's going to be a question for the NRL, and it'll be the first question probably the NRL integrity unit asked him today, and off the back of that, there'll be more meetings with the Bulldogs where, Josh's fate will potentially be decided in the short term at Canterbury, where, I'd say he's probably long odds to be at the club next year.
Yep, got to agree.
Is long odds, I've got to pin you into the corner here, Michael, sort of you hostage style on Ben Hunt. Long odds means gone, doesn't it?
I'd say so. Yeah, if you ask it, I don't think Josh Addo-Carr will be at the Bulldogs next year.
Yeah.
MC, now, great little piece there. But just before you go, we're doing best fullback, best wingers, SEN team of the year. Who do you like? Because the wingers list is quite extensive. Lomax, Felt, Carraz, Warbrick, To'o, Khan Pereira. There's been some very good performances, and wingers have had some outstanding seasons. Edwards, Tedesco, Drinkwater maybe for the fullback spot. Anyone else?
I'd probably go Tedesco for fullback, boys, just because of the consistency throughout the season and the fact that Trbojevic and Edwards have missed a decent amount of footy. And wingers, I'll go Lomax and Carraz.
Lomax and Carraz, good. Yeah, they're good. They've had great years.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah. Now, Michael, just in your sporting world, you established at the top you're not an AFL man. A rugby union, does that float your boat at all? No. So nothing on the Bledisloe Cup Saturday, All Blacks, Wallabies?
I'll have a passing interest in the scores, but
so MC, if you aren't watching rugby league,
what are you doing?
What do you get up to in the summer?
Cricket. I love my cricket.
Oh, there we go.
And NFL.
That's enough.
I love league.
NFL.
Old school boys. It was winter league and summer cricket in my household.
Yep.
And now mixed in with a bit of NFL as I've got a little bit older. So that's probably they're my.
That's really normal. That's normal. That's good.
So, Michael, I'm just going to throw a quiz question. Now I've established that, and I know that I can put up $50 million as the prize money if you can get this right. Australia and New Zealand have played 230 rugby tests, right? 230 rugby tests. How many times have the All Blacks won out of 230?
150.
The 50 million saved. 177 times. So Australia's only won 45
That's pretty good,
times.
MC.
Yeah, that wasn't bad for someone who has no clue. 45 times Wallabies won out of 230, and the Wallabies announcing their side today. So that's not on your radar. You won't be covering that. Can you do a little column piece, though, Michael, you or David Riccio? Can you fire or get Dean Ritchie? Unleash the Bulldog on Mark Robinson. Can he come back at Mark Robinson hard today?
I might get one of the boys to do it. I'll see what's going on.
Dog would love it.
Yeah.
Dog.
Let him go. Mark Robinson, before I die. And then little side can be the 10 things I'm going to do before I die, or the 10 things that happen before I die, or something like that. Michael,
the Wallabies will beat the All Blacks. That might be on the list.
Wallabies could beat the All Blacks. Well, they last beat... Wallabies last beat the All Blacks in Sydney 9 years ago, 2015, the last time they had a win in Sydney.
Right.
Nick White was a star on that day. He's set to be recalled today. You talk about your horses for courses. Nick White is going. I reckon that's the male.
Really?
He's going to be in the Wallaby side today. Nick White, veteran, coming back because he was there 9 years ago. Good mental. He's had good memories.
MC, are you an old Newington boy?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay. Not
right?
a rugby fan. Mustn't have had many mates in school, says our text message 248, Michael.
This is the urban myth about those schools. No one spoke about rugby back then either. It was all the leagues forced to play rugby.
You know what? I have, and I've been going to schoolboy rugby for 15 years.
Yep.
Everyone, all the parents, all they want to talk about is rugby league.
Well, that was Alan yesterday. He was a former Newington boy, Wallaby front rower. He comes on and wants to talk about the Bulldogs. He's a Bulldogs fan. Now, on the honour board there at Newington, because there's great, and there's team fun. As I said, that's where I've walked down the hallways of Newington. It's a fantastic college, as regal as you get. And you'll see the photo of Cameron Murray, sitting there first 15 with Bailey Simonson, and then the honour boards. So my nephew, Carter Marketson, was first 11 cricket captain. It gets acknowledged on the board when you achieve those things. Would they find the name Michael Carayannis anywhere on the honour boards of Newington? It's probably going to be a short answer, yes or no?
In primary school, captain of cricket, yep. At Newington, yep. House captain, all that sort of stuff. I was all that sort
there
of
we go.
thing.
He's up on the board. He's on the board.
So obviously they got to high school and worked you out.
Correct. Peaked very young, boys. Peaked very young.
All right.
MC.
See you, Michael, for
See
Vale
old boy.
Logistics.
Newington old boy.
There he is.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, nothing. See, he needs a sign-off, doesn't he? Because David Riccio says go well. Have we got Dave Riccio on the hot mic, so when he's not here, we can end Michael Carayannis' segment with go well, but anyway.
I can find the I'm Feeling You audio and play that.
Well, you can play that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I'll track that down somewhere.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie.
MC was here for conveyor logistics for your warehouse automation solutions.